My friends, how are you? It is absolutely fantastic to see you for yet another video. I hope you're all doing well out there. We've got some very interesting news to talk about today, as the trade talks between the United States and Canada have completely fallen through, and sounds to me like Mark Carney just said enough of this shit and just walked away from the entire thing, leaving Donald Trump there with nothing to show for all the harm that he has caused to both countries, which tends to be the normal thing we do around here these days, is watch Donald Trump fuck shit up with no answer whatsoever to what he is going to do. And that's what we're going to talk about today. See, it's a very interesting situation because for a while there, Donald Trump had kind of shut up for a little bit about Canada, and I wouldn't say for the most part like left Canada alone necessarily, but definitely backed off of all his constant rhetoric and was just kind of leaving it alone, aside from the trade negotiations that needed to happen. Never mind, I take that back. He was also bitching about the bridge the entire fucking time, wasn't he? Maybe I misread the entire situation, but he was a little bit quieter, excuse me, on the Canada situation. And then out of nowhere, he started losing his fucking mind again and targeting Canada with all the random things that he was grumpy about. And if you guys remember, one of the things he was grumpy about was the smoke blowing over the border that he said came from Canada and their wildfires. I mean, I wasn't there, I don't know, but I do know that Donald Trump lies all the fucking time. And America had plenty of wildfires going on here at the time also, and who really knows where all that smoke was coming from? And then when the smoke started coming across the border, according to Donald Trump, that's when he started talking about tariffs again, saying if Canada can't get their smoke under control, then he was going to hit their country with more tariffs, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Any of us paying attention know that he means he's going to hit the American people with more tariffs, as we talked about in yesterday's video, where Donald Trump swore to the American people that tariffs don't raise prices. The other countries paid the tariffs, and now he is removing the tariffs on ground beef coming into the United States to let me check my notes, lower the prices. So it seems like he knows that they raise prices, right? Excuse me. Anyways, it looks like Mark Carney has instructed the leadership of Canada to basically just walk away from these negotiations. And Canada is going to just go their own way, which I think is what they should do. That is the right call right now, because you don't want to deal with a lunatic in the United States that thinks he can dictate fucking everything. And it's better, in my opinion, as just a humble American on the outside looking in, it's probably best at this point for Canada to just go their own way, find their own, bolster their own industries, find more trade partners, all those things, and just leave us the fuck out of the entire thing. But it is a funny thing because Donald Trump basically has nothing out of this whole situation, but making it worse for everyone else, as he has threatened so many times to put tariffs on Canada because of the smoke. He's even went so far as to tariff the hockey sticks for some fucking reason. And look, to me that feels a little bit racist. Maybe I'm a little bit off on that, but Donald Trump, when he thought of Canadians, he's like, those hockey playing motherfuckers, I'm gonna tariff their fucking hockey sticks, right? But most importantly right now, Donald Trump should really look into if he has the ability to tariff those Canadian ass whippings that Mark Carney and the Canadian people are handing out to Donald Trump right now. That's at least something that he should explore, because those motherfuckers are getting real expensive. And it'd be better though. I just thought of something, because the whole idea of tariffs, according to Donald Trump, was going to bring manufacturing back to America. So Canada, roll with me on this one, because I'm just spitballing a thought that off the top of my head. If Donald Trump is to tariff those Canadian ass whippings that are coming across the border that keep embarrassing him over and over, maybe America will start manufacturing some ass whippings of our own, and we can reshore that and take care of some fucking business around here. I don't know, just an idea. I just came up with it. It's not well thought out. It's just the words that came out of my mouth, but hey, it's a good idea. Anyways, we're going to talk about this failed trade deal and all the implications in my eyes of what's going on, just after I take a few minutes, like I always do, to thank you guys for everything that you do to help support this channel. Trust me, with everything absolutely collapsing around us, your support means so much to me. Excuse me. Sorry about that, and I appreciate everything that you guys do, from watching the videos, subscribing to the channel, leaving a like on the videos, leaving a comment, and sharing the videos out to your social media. Every bit of that helps a lot. I appreciate it. Also, thank you to everyone that does the super chats, super thanks, and the channel memberships. I forgot what I was talking about there. I appreciate that, and of course, the best way to support this channel, if you would like, is the Buy Me a Coffee link you can find in the description and pinned comment of every video. Thank you guys so much for your support and everything you do. Really, it truly does mean a lot. With the high diesel prices out here and our supply chain basically hanging in the balance right now, it's a tough time to be an owner-operator trucker in the United States. So thank you guys for everything that you do. I truly do appreciate it. So back to the point of the video. So a few days ago, old Taco Don had backed down again on his threats to impose 50% tariffs on Canadian products, which we assumed that he was going to do, right? Donald Trump tries to use these threats of tariffs as a way to bully other countries, and it would make a little more sense, not that it makes sense anyways, but it would make a little more sense if he clearly defined what it is he wants, and then once you know, these certain things are met, then maybe I'll think about not imposing these tariffs on your products, right? But the problem is, we never know what the fuck he wants. Nobody knows what he wants, and that leads me to believe that he's just trying to use it to try to strong-arm other countries and to prove what a tough guy he is. He doesn't care about the economic implications and what's going to happen. What he cares about is that other countries bow down to him and do whatever he wants to do so that he can look like a tough guy on the world stage, right? Well, as you can imagine, that entire fucking image of Donald Trump is completely blowing up, which I love more than anything, because unfortunately we live in a country full of dumb motherfuckers that see Donald Trump as some sort of tough guy for some reason, and watching over and over as these other countries bend him over, for lack of a better term, I wish I wouldn't have said that, that's so fucking gross, is great. It destroys the image of this tough guy Donald Trump. It destroys the image of the alpha male Republican Party and all these things, and I think it's really truly fantastic when other countries stand up to Donald Trump. It's massively influential here in the United States when people tarnish that image of who the MAGA movement thinks that Donald Trump is, right? So, and that's a big deal too, just to kind of interrupt myself for a second, even when it comes to the Iran war. This is a clusterfuck. It's a shit show. It's really bad. And the Iranians have completely won the war. That's what they did. They have successfully defended themselves on many, many occasions now, costing the United States a ton of fucking money, the people of the United States, something like $1 billion a day just to keep this fucking war going, while our budget or our budget deficit soars to our debt. I hope I'm using the right term there. Sometimes I get a little excited. But anyways, the fucking thing soars to $40 trillion, which is over 120% of the United States GDP. And it's a complete shit show. It's an absolute clusterfuck. And all of that is beneficial to the United States because once you weaken that image of Donald Trump, the alpha male bros aren't so impressed, and maybe we could get them to shut the fuck up. And I think at this point, just stop participating in our politics. You guys are dumb. You make bad decisions, right? Anyways, back to the fucking point. Back to the point. I had a friend that sent me, he's still alive. I still have him as a friend. I didn't mean to say it like past tense, but just this morning, he sent me the statement from Mark Carney having to do with the trade wars that Donald Trump has started. And I have to be honest, I was extremely impressed when I read it. I tried not to offer my opinion to like Canadians too much on what they should think about Mark Carney, because that's not my fucking business. That's for the Canadians to figure out and understand and do whatever the hell they want to do, and has nothing to do with me. But as an American watching Mark Carney, I am almost always impressed. Sometimes I'm a little, I'm like, what did he mean by that? And then I have to kind of research the thing. I think the last thing that I had to look up and understand was when at first it sounded like he said he was in support of the war with Iran, and then he did walk that back. He listened to the Canadian American people that were pissed off about it and sort of walked that idea back. But I don't remember the specifics of that, so I may be a little bit off on that too. But for the most part, as an American, watching a cool, competent leader, intelligent, educated, knows what the fuck he's doing, hell, that's quite the treat. You know, we don't get to deal with that a whole lot in the United States. If it's not Donald Trump, it's another fucking Republican saying the dumbest shit that we've ever heard in our fucking lives, and we're supposed to stand here and just listen to it. We're supposed to stand here and listen to these motherfuckers tell us the dumbest shit we've ever heard and not question it. It's fucking strange, right? So, well, the point of that is watching an intelligent leader is quite the treat, and I really do enjoy it. And I did read over the statement from Mark Carney. Obviously, I don't have it memorized. I just read over it one time. But a few things stood out to me. Excuse me. A few things stood out to me in it that I was really impressed by was Mark Carney talking about something having to do with, at the last minute, some points of the trade negotiation, the trade deal, were changed by the United States, just like a little switcheroo, like last minute. Maybe they won't fucking notice, and they tried to get that trade deal to go through. And once Mark Carney heard about that, he was like, no, that's not going to work. We're not going to change it at the last minute. You're not going to sneak shit in there. You're not going to do anything like that whatsoever. And that's where, in my understanding, he ordered the negotiators that were there to just go home, pack it up, call it a night. There's no reason for us to be here, right? And what I really enjoyed about it was when he talked about how Canada will impose the same tariffs on American products, which, I mean, this is all good news. This stuff all has silver linings for the American people, is what I'm trying to say. We got some hard times to go through. I mean, I don't even know if this country is going to remain standing, if I'm being honest with you. I'm trying to be optimistic, and hopefully we get through the midterms. Hopefully we flip a whole lot of seats, and hopefully we rein Donald Trump in immediately and get this shit under control. But that not happening, if that doesn't happen, then I am starting to be of the opinion that it is truly the end of the United States. I 100% kind of believe that now, because we cannot afford the debt. We cannot afford the wars that Donald Trump is starting. We are losing jobs massively. What else? Fuel prices are through the roof. Did I mention the wars? I'm not sure if I mentioned the wars, but they're actively trying to kill us at this point. You have to understand, excuse me, the food will kill you now. There was a memo or a thing that came out yesterday that eating the blueberries is almost certain death at this point, right? We've got explosive diarrhea from the lettuce or what have you. Apparently the jalapenos are a big deal right now. The food is poison, is what I'm trying to fucking tell you, right? And because they've gutted the FDA and the CDC and all that shit, aside from all of America's financial problems, probably a lot of us dying off is starting to look like a fucking reality, right? And that's why you've noticed that I don't make a big deal about this cough anymore that I have. I just kind of go through the video and apologize and say excuse me and kind of go on. But I'm hearing that a lot of these diseases are starting to come back, right? A lot of things that we should have gotten rid of, and it wouldn't shock me if I caught one of those fucking things, is what I'm trying to tell you. So if I got a little bit of a cough, and I'm not saying I have something, I'm just telling you that it's so possible in this country right now. I just ate Taco Bell because it's fucking delicious, and Taco Bell's not to blame for all the things going on. It's like Taylor Farms and shit like that. But I could be doubled over tomorrow with explosive diarrhea. I mean, this is the country that we fucking live in, right? So hell, as far as I can tell, I just look like the average American that's on the edge of dying. But to get back to the point, I guess, because the country very well could fall, is what I'm talking about. To get back to the point, the silver lining of that is that Donald Trump has one less thing to show for when it comes up on these midterms. Right now, he has no trade deal with Canada. And all these outside influences are shaping American politics right now. Of course, all the internal politics are a huge fucking problem. ICE is gunning down American citizens. We're losing jobs like crazy. Diesel and gas is through the fucking roof. Massive cuts to the Obamacare subsidies. Looking at huge cuts to SNAP, more coming down the line, Medicare, Medicaid. I mean, they're killing us, my friends, is what they're doing. So all the internal stuff obviously is stacked against Donald Trump. But then when you got when he destroys a whole other market for American manufacturers, which now being Canada officially, it's always been there, but in a non-official way, in my opinion, where Canada said, we're not buying American products, right? Well, Mark Carney now responds, 50% tariff on American products, we're gonna match them dollar for dollar, and fuck it, that's just the way it's going to go. Any market the American people and manufacturers may have still had in Canada, effectively fucking gone. Because I don't imagine a scenario where the products come into Canada with the boycotts from the Canadian people, the heavy fucking boycotts, and on top of, here's a 50% tariff to go on this American product. Done. It's over. It's absolutely fucking finished with that market. So now we've got one less market. We've got a war in Iran that Donald Trump is losing. And those are like the biggest external things, like global things that I can think of, but they're fucking huge, right? And Donald Trump barely has anything at all to run on in the midterms. Well, I mean, and the reason I say that is because Donald Trump is currently in the middle of taking a victory lap for one of Joe Biden's achievements, okay? He is bragging about how prescription drug prices have dropped dramatically. I don't know. I can't afford a prescription drug in this country, so I don't know if they have or haven't. But that was part of the Joe Biden's Inflation Reduction Act that no Republican voted for, by the way. And Republicans are out there taking a victory lap, including Donald Trump, on this fucking thing. And that's going to be one of the things they try to spin into a positive for them in the upcoming midterms, right? But look at every fucking thing else. We're all losing our jobs. We're all losing work. I can't even begin to tell you guys how bad it's getting here in trucking. Over the last week, I have watched my profit margins take a fucking nosedive. Now, I'm still getting by, but the profit margins have gotten incredibly small with this trucking industry now. With the $6 diesel, the rates aren't real high. It's like nothing's making up for anything right now, and it's fucking bad, right? But we've got the job losses, the high prices of everything. We can't afford to eat. We can't afford gas. We can't afford healthcare. ICE is gunning down American citizens. We have concentration camps. ICE has broken into people's apartments and kidnapped their families, shown up on job sites and kidnapped people working at those job sites. The health crisis that we're having, because we're getting sicker by the day over here. They're killing us, right? I mean, they have nothing to run on when it comes to these midterms. And I think what Donald Trump was hoping with this Canada thing is that it was so close to midterms. Now, I mean, there's still time to work something out, but it's from reading Mark Carney's statement, it's sounding like he just said, fuck it. We don't really care. He made a point about, like, we will invest in Canadian industry, talked about lots of infrastructure investments, talked about foreign, I don't know if foreign investments is the right term to use there, because there's still hillbillies in Canada too. If you say foreign investment, they'll be like, oh God, the immigrants are coming, like it's a real bad thing. You got to be careful with your words sometimes. But more trade partners, and they have proven it. That's the point I'm trying to make there, is not that Mark Carney just said it and you're all expected to believe that it's true. That would be fucking stupid, right? But last month I covered it, when the jobs reports came out for both countries. America showed 23,000 jobs lost. Now that will be revised down. That's how this works, and we'll probably see that, in my opinion, that might get closer to 100,000 jobs lost last month. While Canada posted 77,000 jobs gained. I don't know if they go back and do revisions. I have no idea. But either way, that shows the parallels between parallels. I don't know if parallels is what I meant, because parallels run like that, right? It's like the opposite of parallels. You know, I'm not a mathematician, I'm a fucking trucker, right? I wasn't real good at all that shit, but it shows that one country going off and saying, we're just gonna focus on our industry, our people, our jobs, our infrastructure, our trade partners, all of these fucking things has caused them to flourish. Well, Donald Trump is taking sort of the same path of, we're going to focus on just ourselves in a more isolationist sort of way. And now we have no trade partners, no nothing, no industry. So now this, what I'm trying to say, by Mark Carney saying, fuck it, we don't have to deal with this shit. We're not going to put up with this shit, and we're just going to go another way. That gives Donald Trump one less thing to go into the midterms with. As a matter of fact, one more knock against Donald Trump and the Republicans going into the midterms is you just fucked up the whole Canadian market, and not the Canadians are boycotting way, because that was very powerful, right? But the official government stance of fuck you, you're getting your shit hit with 50% tariffs too. It's done. It's fucking over with. And what's funny about this, to wrap it up, Donald Trump really needed this deal. He really fucking did. It was a desperate thing that he was reaching out for. And my opinion is either Donald Trump completely folds on this and gives Canada everything they want, which is not like Donald Trump at all, or he tries to play the tough guy and continues to make the situation worse. But remember, it was just a couple days ago, not that long ago, when Donald Trump made a big deal about the bourbon industry here in the United States struggling massively. That's what he was asking Canada, if you could put our fucking product back on your shelf. Because if I were to guess, there are very rich people at the top of the bourbon industry that are Republican donors that are going, fix this shit right now, you're fucking us over. And Donald Trump just fell flat on his fucking face. So you could bet those industries may stay out of the upcoming elections or start throwing their weight behind Democrats to help flip some more seats in this fucking country. But Donald Trump needed this deal 100%, and that's why he is basically begging for it the entire time and trying to do some sneaky shit at the end with sneaking shit in right at the last fucking minute. And he's not getting the deal that he needed, and some very powerful, influential people in the United States with money are either going to force him to fix this and do what he's told to do, or they're going to help flip seats in this country, which isn't a good thing. I'm not for like billionaires buying our seats, but right now I am for Democrats winning as many seats as possible. I don't know the outcome. I don't really fucking know, but that's sort of my opinions on it. And once again, huge congratulations to Canada. This is like a David and Goliath story right here, happening right in front of us, and Donald Trump is thoroughly getting his ass kicked in this entire situation, and I'm here for it, baby. I absolutely love it. Anyways, with that said, I should get back to work. Love you guys. Bye now.